up, guys? Otterpop here, and welcome to one of the last requests that I need for the month of December, or at least I need to record. And by request, I do mean Patron requests. That's right, people have the ability to request certain kinds of projects from me. Typically, people will do videos on Patreon, and depending on the tier that you're at, you get to maybe request a little bit more than some other people. The link to my Patreon and, of course, my Discord server, to my Twitter, Facebook, all those links will be down in the description. And let's go ahead and just pop a quick list of the current patrons that are supporting me right now. I've gotten a couple more in recent weeks, so that's actually pretty cool. Yay. Anyways, this is going to be a bit of a long one. So one of my patrons did actually request that I react to something called Becoming Superhuman with Iceman. Basically, most simply put, they said it was a group of guys who were doing things outside of their comfort zone to grow as people, and they meet somebody known as the Iceman, whose name is Wim Hof, I think, something. So probably Scandinavian is my guess, or Icelandic. I honestly don't know for sure. But it is a 40-minute video, and honestly, if it gets copyright claimed, then who the frick cares? It'll likely still be allowed to be on YouTube anyways. So I have no idea what I'm going to be expecting from this. It's 40 minutes of material, and it's, you know, it's real life stuff. And I imagine there's going to be a lot of, you know, personal growth or, you know, personal introspection. So, who knows? So, yeah, we'll see what this stuff is all about. I don't know how much commentary I'll be able to provide, but you know what? I'm actually a little bit interested in this, about to watching this. So we're along the border of Poland and Czech Republic. So not Scandinavia or Iceland. I was completely off. Is this the Iceman? What is it? I mean, good for him for breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, despite all the energy he must be exerting to not only move that much, but to keep himself warm. Believe it or not, walking and running and biking and whatnot while breathing in through your nose and not your mouth, not as easy. It's not very easy. Oh, these guys get a wake-up call. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 for sure.
For everyone who is watching this.
With this group in particular, they are all about discomfort. Seeking discomfort. This is not for everybody.
Oh. Dang.
Don't do this at home directly, like copying. Don't do it. These guys are experienced.
Oh, Frozen Alive. Is this divided into chapters? Hold up. Gotta read the disclaimer. The following features stunts performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, the producers insist that no one try to recreate or reenact any stunt or activity performed in this. Oh, it's basically a film! Oh, I gotcha. Wait, so is Frozen Alive like the title of this, or is this divided into chapters and like the sort of chapter 1 or prologue or something along those lines is titled Frozen Alive? Okay. So there's definitely more than 4 of them. There does seem to be a woman in the mix. I think in that little line I counted like 6 people, plus, well, I'm just going to call the Iceman. So, Poland and Czech Republic. So, hang on. Are we talking like the Caucasus Mountains? Or is that the Alps? Man, I don't know European geography that much. It's definitely not the Himalayas. That's closer to that's basically Asia. Or like the Europe-Asia border, or it's in Asia. One of the two. Poland and Czech Republic, though, that has to be the Caucasus Mountains or the Alps, and I don't remember for sure. Okay, gotcha.
He's able to withstand extreme cold.
This guy runs to the top of Everest in his underwear. He says it's easy.
Experts
What?
are baffled.
How is he able to survive?
Wim Hof, or as some of you may know him, the Iceman.
Ah.
He might well be one of the most unique humans currently alive. For the past 20 years, he's been breaking countless endurance records, mostly around his ability to resist extreme cold temperatures.
Wow. His metabolism must be like
From
slow
spending
as
nearly
heck.
2 hours submerged in ice water without his core body temperature changing, to climbing past the death zone of Mount Everest barefoot, wearing nothing
What?
but shorts, or running a
What?
full marathon in the desert of Namibia, without drinking water. He's surpassed what anyone thought the human body
my
was
gosh.
capable of over and over. And for a while, that's what he was known for, as the Iceman, the freak of nature who breaks impossible records.
Oh
but
my
after a series of
goodness.
independent scientific studies, he's proven that with his specific training, we're all capable of pushing our minds and bodies way past what was thought possible.
Thank you.
And he calls it the Wim Hof method.
How is it possible for a human being to
Naturally.
be exposed in an ice bath for 1 hour and 44 minutes?
Wim Hof is changing scientists' understanding of how the body works.
He recently shook the scientific community after injecting himself and a few of his students with the form of an infectious E. coli bacteria.
We saw less fever, he had less flu-like symptoms, and he also had lessened concentrations of inflammatory proteins in his blood.
Together, they
Wow.
fought off the disease through breathing and meditation, both of which are major pillars of his method.
Right,
Leaving
I
the
believe
world
that.
confused and us, like many others, fascinated. While Wim may seem superhuman and a total anomaly to the human race, there are now millions of people around the world practicing his method.
Yeah, understandably.
His records and his life raises the question, what if there is a world of untapped potential and all of us just waiting to be released?
Oh, there
The ability to tap
absolutely
into
is.
deeper parts of our brain to regain control and willpower over our own bodies and do things we never thought we were capable of before. And so, after meeting Wim in LA a few months ago and hearing about all his claims, we were fully
Wow.
intrigued by the possibility of unlocking our full potential. We felt like we had no other choice but to fly out to his training camp in Poland and experience it in person. Our goal was to understand whether Wim is simply a madman with superhuman abilities, or whether he has actually made a groundbreaking discovery about what the human mind is capable of. We brought a group of friends and filmmakers to help capture the process, and even though we arrived in Poland with over 3 years of experience in seeking discomfort, none of us could have expected the wild journey for answers we were about to embark on.
And it begins.
Okay, no. I have to pause. I'd heard about people breaking records like this in regards to, like, endurance and stamina, especially as it pertained to bodily temperatures and, well, I mean, just general physical endurance. But I didn't realize that most of that was just one guy. Holy crap on a cracker. That test that he and a couple of his students also did with the E. coli, mind-blowing results. But if you think about it, it does kind of make sense. I'm willing to bet that part of his resistance to cold, to sort of infectious disease, I'm willing to bet that a small part of it is probably genetic. I could see, like, because there are all kinds of people in the world that have very fast metabolisms and they have it for a long time, or just have naturally slow metabolisms. And I'm willing to bet that through some genetics and mostly training, that is kind of what he has. Because if you think about it, in terms of what some animals do, hibernation, they are basically slowing their metabolisms down to a crawl, so that they can survive for multiple months with very little food, with very little water, or sometimes even no food or water, and can withstand incredible temperatures, especially cold temperatures. That's what hibernation usually is. But I'm sure that he's done an extensive amount of training, probably for decades, probably for most of his life even, trying to train his body, or I suppose train his mind, so that he can train his body. Because here's the thing, mind over matter is a huge concept that absolutely has, how should I say, it can have prominence. That's not exactly the word I'm looking for, but that's the only one that's coming to my head. But the mind over matter concept can have prominence and can allow humans to attempt or succeed or go through all kinds of feats without too much of a problem. It absolutely works. I do it for myself whenever I'm feeling sick. I just think, okay, I have a bunch of water here. This water's gonna help. Because I don't usually like taking I don't even usually like taking ibuprofen for when I'm feeling terribly sick. I just try and stay as not overly hydrated, but I try and stay as hydrated as I possibly can, and just basically kind of focus on slowing down my breathing a little bit and just think, this is gonna work. I'm gonna start feeling better. And more often than not, it works. I couldn't tell you exactly how, but it does honestly work. And breathing especially is a big part of that too. Meditation has proven to be very, okay, maybe not proven necessarily, but meditation is found by many and believed by many to be central in terms of our body's capabilities, especially when it comes to, you know, superhuman feats, general human metabolism, and those are the first two that came to mind, but I think you get the point. But there is so much untapped potential in human bodies. There is so much of it. And there are so few of us willing to go to extremes like this to sort of bring forth that untapped potential. I'll admit, I'm probably one of them as well. There are certainly things that I wouldn't really want to do. I just don't have as much interest. But I also know that I do have passions for various other things, and I've been building up on so many skills over the years. I mean, sure, they're not like groundbreaking or anything like that, but being able to draw the way I do, being able to write and hold the information on all of my stories, being able to learn new things about video editing, and even about YouTubing, about communication, I've been able to expand my horizons so much just in the last few years. And it's nothing groundbreaking or earth-shattering or amazing as what some of these people can do, like the Iceman, but I still like to think that I am trying to tap into some potential within me, and I'm trying to pull it out as much as possible because I want to, because I have a passion for it. And I'm sure that this guy is no different with his constant need for meditation and for pushing the limits. He probably just gets a kick out of it, and it's probably just a part of his training regimen that he has to endure every day, every week, whatever the case, to keep building up this tolerance and resistance and calm-mindedness and body strengthening abilities. There's really no other way to describe that. The human mind is utterly fascinating, and so many of us have so much untapped potential. Some of us may never see it. I don't think I'll ever see my true untapped potential. I don't think I will. That said, I am still very happy with what I can do now, because I still do have a drive and a motivation and a passion to keep doing what I'm doing and to keep exceeding the bounds of what I am doing. Does that make sense? Anyways, I've been rambling for long enough. Let's go ahead and play this again.
None of us could have expected the wild journey for answers we were about to embark on.
And it begins.
3 years experience, wow.
Vamos! Yes! Oh, it hasn't started yet. You don't have to wear a t-shirt. You can wear a jacket. Well, I'm acclimating. We haven't done like the breathing yet.
It's kind of smart, acclimating.
Last night, shirtless, to acclimate. This is good.
It's a good start to acclimate that early.
Turned off the heaters at midnight last night, and then it progressively kept getting colder and colder. And I was like, wow.
I was freezing.
Yeah, my feet are freezing right now.
We're not in the snow yet. We're going to be walking in snow.
They're talking about wood being cold.
I feel like Wim would give up on us if we told him we were cold.
Zach, how are you? You're refusing to kind of show any emotion.
I don't think he would give up. This is probably normal.
I'm just patiently waiting. Just because someone's message is good doesn't mean that the messenger themselves is like anything special.
He said you have to fully believe
that
in
is
order
true.
for it to work. And the men's here.
Yes, that's me. I'm a simple man, yet I'm going to change the world. We are made to believe that a whole lot of things, a whole lot of crap is normal. Like war and disease and mental disorders. It's made sort of playful, like, yeah, that's life. Life can be a tough bitch and all that shit. I don't believe that. Within 4 days, I will bring you guys into a state of mind more than ever you have experienced before. Making you able to go in very stressful environments, like a freezing cold mountain, frozen over, in short, 4 hours in 4 days. It's not like a training, it's an awakening. And in this awakening, we show the world that we have so much more power already here, right now, and it needs just a couple of steps.
a lot of people might listen to this and could think it's almost complete nonsense, or this guy's trying to preach. And maybe that's partially true, and especially since he's talking about, not training, but rather awakening. Which, I mean, for what he does every day, kind of makes sense, but he also says that he wants to sort of awaken the sort of hidden power inside everybody. Everybody does have it. There is no doubt in my mind, because, again, the human body is capable of so many incredible feats. But this guy, I'm not really sure if it's... Because usually I feel like a lot of people tend to fall within one of three categories, and sometimes there's a bit of a gray area in between them. Basically, realistic, optimistic, and pessimistic. This guy almost seems to ride some kind of very fine line between optimism and realism, because he's been through so much in terms of, well, training or his regimen, his awakening, whatever you might want to call it. But he's definitely been through a lot, and he believes that stuff like what does happen should not exist. I'm in slight disagreement with that, because I don't really ride the line between optimist and realist. I'm a little bit more, well, I wouldn't say one-sided, but I do like to think of myself a bit more as an optimistic realist. I am a realist with some optimistic tendencies. I used to be very pessimistic, probably a realistic pessimist is what I used to be. And now I'm pretty much on the opposite side of that sort of spectrum, you might call it, because I usually think of it more of a triangle. I used to be kind of right here-ish, and now I'm kind of more here-ish. So almost the exact opposite. But it's really difficult to not focus on the things like disease, mental health issues, war, people just being general dicks. It's really hard not to focus on that, because we usually have two different chemicals that ride around in our brain, serotonin and dopamine. A bit of an analogy, kinda sorta. Serotonin would be a little bit more associated with pessimism, and dopamine would be a little bit more associated with optimism, or as some people might call it, euphoria. Serotonin is much more easily processed by the brain. Dopamine, less so. So that's why it's so much easier to grab onto those negative thoughts, those news stories, those bad comments you see in your videos. It's so easy to grab onto them, to see them, and to hold them in for long periods of time. Whereas for something like dopamine, usually you need to put a lot more work into it. Here's also an excellent analogy as well. It takes about twice as many muscles in your face to smile than it does to frown. Just try it yourself. See how easy it is just to frown? And then you try smiling, and you can feel some of the muscles working, especially up here. You can feel the tension in your face. It requires so many more muscles and a little more energy. Kind of the exact same thing with the entire world around us. It's so easy to grasp onto that negativity, which is why you sort of need to train yourself out of that, which is what I had to do. And that was a rough process. I also did it kind of badly and really slowly, but I transitioned myself out of that process of being super pessimistic and just feeling like, literally feeling like, who cared about me, really? I didn't necessarily have depression or suicidal thoughts, but I was socially an outcast for a very long period of time. I was very antisocial. I was socially inept. I couldn't converse. And when I could, I wasn't very good at it. I couldn't read body language or context clues. Even now, I still cannot very well. I can much better now, but I used to absolutely be horrendous at it. And it took me a long time to transition to that optimism that I do have nowadays. It is difficult, but it is possible, and that's probably a big part of what he's trying to do. That's sort of this awakening that he's talking about, to get out of the mindset that so many people are used to and into this other mindset to sort of, how would you even say that? To sort of ascend our own minds so that our bodies can follow suit, and we generally have, I wouldn't say a better outlook on life, but a very different perspective on life and the surrounding world. And honestly, to that, I don't see a problem with that. There's nothing wrong with trying to see things from a different perspective, especially if you're trying to better yourself or strengthen yourself in some way. Nothing wrong with that? I'm sorry, I've been rambling too much. I hope I'm not going to be doing that too much for this particular video, but just figured in that case I would provide a little bit of insight, so cool.
Within 4 days, I will bring you guys into a state of mind more than ever you have experienced before, making you able to go in very stressful environments like a freezing cold mountain frozen over in short 4 hours in 4 days. It's not like a training, it's an awakening. And in this awakening we show the world that we have so much more power already here right now, and it needs just a couple of steps to discover.
When it comes to climbing the mountain, what kind of gear are we gonna have?
Yeah, just a couple of spikes under your shoes and as shorts, a little shorts.
Little shorts.
Yeah, shorts enough to cover it all, you know?
How long is it gonna take to go up? We don't know.
Oh, it depends on the mountain. A mountain in sunshine is very nice. You can stay for hours, there's nothing going on. But you will not do that when there is a wind chill of 100 kilometers. It's like a whip on.
Wow.
You don't stay picnicking while a whip is going on. You just want to go as fast as possible, and maybe it's not even possible. The mountain is a mirror of our capacities coming up, and we got so much more within us, and the mountain will just bring it out. But before that is going to happen, we're going to prelude it with a nice splash. You better be ready. Are you ready? Do you feel ready?
Yeah, I don't know what ready for what, but yeah.
Okay.
I like his
That's
energy.
exactly what I need. A natural expression. Let's do this! You want to ring the bells?
Ring the bells, baby.
Right off the bat, we got a feeling that Wim had no intention of treating us like a regular group. Normally, he begins by teaching his breathing and meditation techniques that allow you to cope with the extreme cold, but his most recent study has indicated that this may be possible to be achieved all through the power of the mind. So instead of training us, he thought it'd be an interesting idea for the first day to start off with a real-life trial of that study by taking us straight to cliff jumping to ice water.
He doesn't usually do this where we go in without any breath work.
Oh, he doesn't?
Specifically, we've been told if you're in water without training, that temperature for 3 minutes, your body shuts down. Yeah, I mean, all he said was to put on freaking shorts, so I'm assuming we're about to get really cold.
I'm down for the breathing and the training. I'm not down for the jumping with nothing and no training.
Oh,
and no
wow.
breathing, nothing. Just full-on noobs.
All right, we are about to go for our first adventure with Wim to the waterfall. We're jumping from 6 meters up. We have not done any training.
1 meter is almost 3 feet, by the way.
What about frost bites?
No frostbite here. That is in the long time exposure into cold. Going to do it. That is the one where we jump from down into the ice water. 0 degrees and floating. So it's colder than normal.
We're about to discover the definition of freezing your nuts off.
Oh, I bet. Oh my goodness.
There you jump.
This is fucking insane.
Oh.
What are we doing?
I agree with him.
In cold water, why are we doing a cliff jump?
6 meters up, freezing shallow water.
He has a reason for it. Oh my gosh, she did it. Oh my gosh, these guys are getting into it. Oh my goodness. These guys literally have more balls than I do. Oh wow, he's all fancy with it. Oh my goodness, I cannot imagine how cold that must be.
Good team.
Good team?
It's a bloody good team. Yeah.
Seek discomfort.
Power. Power is with us.
Power.
As we were celebrating completing his initiation, without us realizing it, Wim was carefully watching us, and our reactions were about to completely determine how our next 3 days would pan out.
Oh, how's that? I'm not surprised that he was evaluating them as they were all jumping
I've
in.
never pushed my body like that before.
I bet
Every single
not.
voice inside your mind is just screaming at you, are you insane?
You cannot think about nothing than surviving when you are in the cold. You don't think about your indulging into your emotion and your broken heart and all those things. You just gotta survive. Thus you learn to control your emotion.
Today when we went to jump off the cliff, you said that the anxiety and the fear that we're facing is natural.
Yes.
What would you say your relationship with anxiety and fear is?
Today was a great day because I saw not only me having fun there at the waterfall, but you all did. This ball game is going to be good these coming 4 days. So how I'm dealing with this anxiety? There is no anxiety. There's only power. And that power is going to be ours. And it's going to be our mind. And my challenge these 4 days is to bring you to the full understanding by feeling of the power of your own mind, and send that into the world, that it is there, that we knock on your heaven's door inside, and that you are the master of your own brain. You are the owner of your own brain. Got that?
Yep.
Your own mind. Your own happiness, strength, and health is yours.
Our first day in Poland came to an end without training. We went to bed hopeful that the next day would finally start preparing for the intense climb up the mountain in 3 days. But when we woke up, we were told that Wim had other plans.
The Iceman took the power and the fun that they had and used that as his focal point. That's why he had no anxiety.
I go gradually into step by step, but not with this group. They are all about discomfort. Seeking discomfort is exactly what I needed. So we jumped straight into the depths.
Just
which normally I do.
Jump right in,
Absolutely
literally.
not. It's bringing heart attacks to people because their vascular system is not right. But in
vascular
this
system
case,
isn't
I
prepared.
could, specifically with this group, I want to try out the last study I've shown that it is all in the mind. We are built to be happy, strong, and healthy. We got all the tools, but they are not awakened. But who is going to wake them up? That's us. This week, we're gonna do things I've never done because I've been a guinea pig all my life and I changed the books. Now I'm going to do that with, yes, theory.
Oh, interesting.
Go back to the door. Go back.
Here's the plan. There is no plan. We do whatever Wim decides. We were supposed to do something up here, but apparently we're gonna go downstairs and figure out what his plan is.
If he tells you to
Interesting.
jump in the water, you jump in the water. If he tells you to sleep, you sleep. If he wants to slap you in the face, you get slapped in the face. That's what a master does.
Yeah.
Wim told me to do that. Wim said it, dude. Wim fucking said it.
If Wim says it, it must be so.
I woke up at 3:30, and since then I've been thinking, oh shit, this is gonna go a complete different way. We don't want another Vice documentary. We want something new. Right now, I'm preparing a 10 minutes ice bath for you guys. 10 minutes, all of you. Set your mind.
10 minutes in an ice bath?
Study
Is that what you
showed
said?
we are able to tap into the deepest part of the brain just at will. We will show, and with that,
Willpower is powerful.
how to handle the brain, how to handle the mind. Set your mind. Your mind will make your body able and survive from a 10 minutes ice bath. As a treat, we come back up here and we have a great festival in the sauna. And then you get food, okay?
Wow.
Breath?
Yeah, Wim Hof method, baby.
One breath. Tomorrow we're gonna do breathing. We make it a shortcut because you guys all, from going out of comfort into the discomfort, there is the comfort. I will show you what is comfort.
Wow.
Perfect, we're ready. Let's go. Ice bath, baby. Let's go.
Okay.
Tom's stoked. Look at that.
This sounds intense.
You can replay it. Just his face. It's whole time.
His face,
We were
he
supposed
looked
to learn
nervous.
the breathing techniques to cope with the cold today, but he decided to skip that step and just throw us straight in the cold. And
He
see
already did it with the cliff jumping.
if
Are
we
you
can just,
surprised?
with the power of our mind, adapt to it. What does that mean, man? I was freezing when I had my toes in the snow. How am I supposed to sit in the freaking ice bath? You know, 10 minutes is a
Power of your
very long
mind.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I had no idea.
time. It's a very long time in ice water.
The Wim Hof method involves breathing, and that's a big part of it. And the fact that we're surpassing that and just trying to go straight to the mindset. I've never done like a full ice bath without the breath. If you've never done ice baths, you're not supposed to.
I'm not even sure what the breath is. I have a couple of ideas, but I don't know for sure.
The whole point of us being here is to learn. And I feel like we're just being thrown into shit. And being like, the power of your mind.
Just shut up and do it. When your house is on fire, you run fast. You don't need to think, you go because adrenaline is there. So it's like the house is on fire. It's not on fire, but you are on fire. Follow me in this, and it's going to happen. Begin to doubt, and something else is going to happen.
So is there something physically I do or something mentally that I need to do to like center my mind?
Just follow the breath.
Okay.
Here's what's interesting too, is that for a lot of human beings in general, it's kind of coded in our DNA. We experience something that we're not used to, especially when it comes to our bodies being tested in some way. We react on instinct. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of the fight or flight response. That's kind of basically what it is. But what the Iceman is trying to do is the complete flip side of that. Instead of letting our bodies tell us what to do, which is what often happens, he's switching up the formula and saying that your mind has to be in control. Because if you think about it, the body is just full of sensory organs and functions and nerves all over the place that are telling our brains all kinds of information. It's our mind reacting to our bodies, not the other way around. And so suddenly he's telling them, no, your mind has to be in control of everything. Except he hasn't told them what that is. That either could be because he's trying to get them to awaken themselves, which I honestly believe, or it works differently for everybody. Like how you center your mind. It probably could be a little bit different for everybody in terms of how you do that and even what you do, whether it's clearing your mind, whether it's related to breath, whether it's not even either of those in the slightest. It could be different for everybody. But the point is, you have to make sure that your mind is in control. Your mind cannot be reacting to the information that is overloading your body. Your mind has to be at the center of it. Granted, if I were in this situation, I might be a little confused, and then I would probably just be like, whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna end up doing, I'm just gonna do it. There really is no preparing or planning for this. I feel like you just do it. It just happens. Whenever you figure that out, I honestly don't know. But this is not normally a route of logic that I would normally take, but I'm also very, very aware that the human mind is capable of unbelievable feats just as the body is. The human brain is a powerful supercomputer. You people can't even imagine all the information that's basically loading into your brain every single millisecond. every single nerve cell, every single nerve that I'm touching. These are hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of nerves. Maybe I don't know about millions. For my mind to just know, yes, you are breathing in oxygen, you are breathing a fair amount, there's something in the back of your throat, your fingers are touching, you're talking about a subject while also thinking simultaneously about this, and your body's doing all kinds of other natural functions, like making sure that your ass muscles are fixated to the seat and that your legs are holding up your weight as much as possible, that your back is relatively straight or it's continuously trying to slouch over a little bit, and it's constantly, your body is constantly sending information to your brain without you even realizing it. And for the formula to be completely flipped on its head, most people don't know how to do that. I don't even really know how to do that, but I just know that it's something that can be attained, achievable. How would one even put that?
Here you are. The only thing is, don't interfere with what the body is able to do. Adaptation. Meditation is dynamic. It's real. It's a deeper part of the brain having a sufficient blood flow. Now, they studied mindfulness research, and they saw that within 10 minutes, what we do, people, even after years of training in mindfulness, are not able to get into. Now, put the signs out of there and get back to your sense. You are the one in command over yourself. Got that?
Find your center.
3 minutes is hypothermia, right?
Yeah.
And we're doing 10 minutes? Without training.
Let's go. Okay.
In Alaska, we were in the water for probably 30 seconds, and I had never in my wildest dreams thought that I could stay in cold water for more than like 2 minutes. This is testing every assumption I've ever made about myself in the cold. I hate the cold. And in a way, there's like a method to his madness, you know? At first, I was mad at him.
Yeah.
I was like, why aren't you training us? And then the other part of me, after a while of thinking about it, was like, shit just happens in life and you have no control over it, and there's no training. You just have to react.
You have to react and adapt. And you have to make sure
Actually,
that you find your
surviving
center
is
so that
something
you
we never
can.
do. You never have to survive. You know? You have to
survive. Not as much anymore.
You will literally get hypothermia. Like, if you lose control over your body, you will literally just collapse.
This would be nerve-wracking.
I'm already freezing.
Go down.
Yeah, and he's nervous too.
Tight on your thighs. Long exhalation. And let the body do what the body is able to do. Don't interfere. Let it go. You got it?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yeah. He's just talking to Thomas. Let Thomas say it. Yes. Let's do it. Let's do it.
He's-
baby. Let's go.
Great.
Thomas, that guy, he's definitely the most nervous. I can
Here's what I've come to
see
terms
it.
with. Without training, without any of this, the only thing we can rely on is our own mind. If we can accomplish this, something that I legitimately think is impossible right now, then we should be able to push our minds beyond anything else in regular life.
We are strong. Put it in. Smart. Your brain knows what to do. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go.
This is so nerve-wracking.
Long exhalation.
Yep. Long exhalations are definitely a key.
Hands on your thighs. Long exhalation. You can do this, Thomas. You come out. Pull your arm.
I think if I'm understanding this correctly, long exhalations means that you're ridding yourself of a lot of carbon dioxide, but at the same point, you're simultaneously sort of training your body to use the oxygen more sparingly. Because, you breathe in, there's more carbon dioxide leaving your body than there is oxygen going in, which means that your body has to sort of react by you consciously controlling your own breathing that way, which could eventually become unconscious breathing technique. But by consciously doing that, your body has to react and has to use oxygen more sparingly, which could mean your metabolism might slow down, your heart rate might slow down, your blood pressure will slow down, all in an attempt to conserve the oxygen so that your body could withstand temperatures like these for longer than normal periods of time. That's, I think, part of the method to what's kind of happening here, what's going to be happening here, at least when it comes to, you know, the Iceman, and that's why he's saying long exhales. That's what I think is happening, at least from an anatomical and a logical standpoint. I don't know for sure, but that's my best guess.
Long exhalation. You can do this, Thomas. You come out. Who do you like?
He's definitely the most nervous.
Long exhalation.
Thomas?
Long exhalation.
My hands feel numb.
Get them on your thighs, tight. Feel the palms of your hands. They are warm. This is the way you learn.
That's another thing, mind over matter. Imagine your body keeping yourself warm.
Let it go. You are thinking.
Everybody else seems to be like shivering a little bit or shaking, and Iceman is just...
Take up the heat in your palm. Well, with you, Thomas.
I'm afraid of my hand.
Enough. 5 minutes in.
Halfway through, baby. Halfway through. We're halfway.
You can do that. Halfway.
Come on, everybody. You've got... Keep centering yourself and helping everybody else. Ah, chanting. There you go, Thomas. Come on, Thomas. I'm rooting for you.
Let's go together.
Mind over matter. Mind over matter. Oh my gosh. Come on, Thomas. You got this. You got this. This is amazing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They're all so red.
How do you feel?
You did it. You did it. He can't respond, but he fucking did it. That's monumentous.
10 minutes. Like no preparation, just the power of the mind. Dealing with stress. Severe stress.
I have never ever seen Thomas like in that much pain and that much discomfort. Like the vein on the side of his neck was just popping. I've never seen like that suffering on a human's face.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of Thomas. You just feel
I am
so
too.
alive. Like all your primal instincts just kick in to save you. I could do this again. I'm the Egyptian Iceman. Not born for this weather, but fuck it. Survive anything.
I like your resolve.
I can't feel my hands. I can't feel my feet.
Is it a myth that if you stay a minute and a half to 2 minutes in freezing water like that, you would just get hypothermia?
There are people who could collapse because their vascular system is not right.
Okay.
And not in good condition. But I prepared you, and you're walking well now.
Prepared.
Feel good.
Feels amazing.
It's 10 minutes. No preparation, just the power of the mind. Well done.
It's gonna start getting better.
This is so painful.
Veins around the core are opening up.
Oh.
So your extremities, the blood from your extremities and from your arms, your legs are now mixing in with your warm core blood, you know.
Like you feel the cold blood going through your body. This feels.
Wow, I can't imagine that feeling. Feeling the blood running cold throughout your entire body. That's crazy.
Water, but here you're like, my entire body is just going.
Let's do it.
fucking made it! Wow.
I applaud you, sir. You are definitely having the most
in the
trouble,
water,
but
I was picturing like headlines being like, YouTuber loses his hands in Poland. I don't know, I was like so scared for a lot of it. Like I legitimately thought I was gonna get out.
But you
and
did
no
it, my
longer
man.
have
That's
control of my
monumentous.
hands. Dude, when I get out, I couldn't move them.
Yeah,
I was looking at my hands and I couldn't fold them in. They were stuck here. I've never experienced that before.
Are you proud of yourself though?
Yeah, definitely. I legitimately was convinced I would get out. There's several moments when I was like, all right, I'm standing up now.
And what made you stay in?
Probably you guys, like looking around, being like, if you guys can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah?
What do you think of Thomas? He sucked. No. That's it.
Oh my goodness, this guy.
He had an issue, but look how he got with his focus through his trauma, through his issue. And you got an issue, you think, looking at this, and man, you follow Thomas.
During this wildly unpredictable day, Wim put us in the ice water 5 times longer than what he ever usually does with fully trained groups.
Wow.
And by the end of it, we were promised that the following morning, Wim was finally going to introduce us to his famous breathing technique to help us cope with the cold.
Here we go.
Too early for this. Let's have some coffee.
From the ground, put your feet in the air. Treat you like a monkey. Like a monkey. Raise you like a monkey.
What are they doing?
Like a monkey.
Oh.
Raise you like a monkey. Raise like the woods in your house.
Right now we're about to do finally the breathing. He's gonna be leading the
Breathing.
team for about 45 minutes and.
Is it 45 minutes?
Okay, are you relaxed? Yes. Just move your body a little, shake it, you know. Just,
I'm gonna try this too.
I'm here. I'm gonna do my best, and everybody is gonna possibly do 3 minutes without air in the lungs. So think and feel as if you fill up your belly through your mouth or nose, doesn't matter. Fully in, then the chest, and then into your head, and then you let it go. Belly, chest, head, letting go. Belly, chest, head, letting go. Belly, chest, head, letting go. Fully in, like the sea, waves on the shore, and letting go. Letting go. This is round number 1. If you feel lightheaded, loosen the body, tingling, it's all right. Breathe into it. Intensify. Whatever you feel, intensify. And 3, fully in.
As we're finally starting to learn the method, I think it might be a good time to explain what it consists of. There's 3 main components: breathing, meditation, and gradual cold exposure. And its main objective is to awaken the deeper parts of the brain that Wim claims we've lost control over. First, Wim's meditation technique differs from traditional practices by preparing the mind and body to stay strong and calm during situations of stress when the fight or flight response is activated. He then gradually takes people through cold exposure. Countless independent studies have shown that cold exposure boosts the immune system and decreases inflammation in the body, which is also why pro athletes use it all the time for recovery, but Wim believes the cold can do so much more. And lastly, his breathing technique is designed to take deep inhales and gentler exhales in order to take in more air than we're letting out. This allows your body to function at a higher level than normal and can get you to hold your breath for 3 to 4 minutes.
That makes sense.
This process can in some cases cause a wide variety of physical and emotional responses.
So that is a little bit different from what I was saying earlier. But the science does make sense. By taking in a lot of oxygen and then quick exhales of carbon dioxide, you're able to take in more and more oxygen, so your body is more enriched with that particular resource. Whereas what I was saying earlier was that you take in a little oxygen, you exhale for long periods of time, release all that carbon dioxide until you practically have none left, which means that your body could need to adapt to using less oxygen than what you normally supply yourself with. Both methods do make sense. I mean, I imagine that taking in more oxygen, trying to enrich yourself with as much oxygen as possible, in terms of survivability, or cold resistance, it does make sense. And in case anybody was wondering, the breathing that I was doing a little bit earlier when there was that short little segment there, I'm not even sure where exactly I learned that technique, but it's a bit of different breathing than what a lot of people might be used to. It's actually a method that has helped me learn to breathe a little bit better in some cases, and I'm not really sure how. It was something that I did see related to singing, which is probably why I was doing it a little bit more frequently in terms of how exactly you inhale can sometimes change the way your vocal cords are able to react, something along those lines. So I have been changing my technique a little bit in terms of how I breathe in some cases, not always. But being able to take in that much air at once and have short exhales, I've never tried that. That would be an interesting method to try.
Go! Over here! Go! Over here!
It's all right. All right. It's okay. Okay? Okay?
Goodness.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Come on. Okay. Relax.
Wow.
Relax.
I'm not sure
All
exactly what just happened, but that's probably the side
All
effects
okay.
that was just mentioned.
Breathe. Good. And relax. It's deep enough.
And 3, fully in. Letting go. 2, fully in. Letting go. 1, fully in. Letting go.
What the?
It seemed like some kind of state of euphoria or something. Oh my goodness.
All good.
At some point, I was just completely out of my body.
I feel amazing. I've never been able to like hold my breath longer than like 45 seconds. So holding it for 3 minutes was like trippy.
Wow. I'm sure.
It felt like 10 seconds. Like you lose track of time.
Wow.
Like I'm holding my breath, and then he's like, "Good, that's 3 minutes." I was like,
Whoa.
"Whoa!" That felt like 20
Yeah.
seconds.
When you were holding the breath for like 3 minutes, I saw his hand was like a little bit like that. So I just started filming, and suddenly he was like, his eyes were like rolled up, and I thought he had like,
They were.
That was scary as fuck.
I'm sure that was a little bit wild and trippy.
Look at Andreas, and Andreas was like, what the fuck just happened?
As we thought
Yeah.
we were finally going through the full Wim Hof method, he decided to fully flip the script again and skip the rest of the training and go straight to the mountain.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
Shut the fuck up and let's climb this mountain. It's about do it. Leave the mountain alone with your pathetic thoughts. Over. Done. And now we go up the mountain and do it. Body already knows what it is going up against.
Goodness.
It is so cold outside and it's snowing. And we're about to climb this mountain. Hopefully we'll make it to the top.
You guys got this.
So Wim decided to completely reverse the whole setup for us. So he started with showing us the power of our minds and then training us. But even with all of that, he still decided to skip day 3 of training, which is usually more breath work and like kind of ice baths, and take us straight up the mountain.
They've never done this with a group before, ever. In all the groups they've had here for training, this is the first time he's done it like this, and it's like we're the guinea pigs for it.
I mean, the only thing we can rely on is ourselves at this point.
These guys
Like,
are
in each
kind
other,
of
right?
professionals,
Like,
or at
on,
least
like, the
have
verge of being
practiced doing stuff
reckless.
like this.
I mean, it is pretty much reckless, and I think he acknowledges it. But I guess
Yeah.
we'll see where recklessness can take us.
Oh my god.
Climbed the mountain already here. I got spikes, baby.
Let's fucking go! Hey man!
Let's go.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, and let us go.
Pep talk.
So that's what we do.
Yeah, let's
today.
go.
Hey, pep talk is over, man. We are just gonna do it.
That's
so
over
here
and done.
it is, and you guys know what to do.
Yeah.
What is it? One step, another one, and then we reach the top.
Oh my god. And him approaching the camera.
Now or never.
Thomas's fuck is the funniest.
Go big or go home.
Dude, nobody's even skiing. That's how fucking cold and snowy it is.
Stop thinking it's cold.
It's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
How does this make any fucking sense? Can somebody tell me, please?
No, it doesn't.
Stop. Just
None
stop
of it
thinking.
does.
Stop doubting.
We picked a day
Just
where it's the
do it.
worst weather conditions possible.
No shit. Dude, my mom, she's gonna watch this and she's gonna fucking kill me.
Oh, no way.
Oh, this is the speedo guy of the group.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Fuck are we doing? It's minus fucking 3 or 4 Celsius. Climbing a freaking
Celsius.
mountain in Poland. Why? We could be in Hawaii right now, you know?
Actually, that's
Go big
not
Hawaii.
too bad.
Fuck it.
Fahrenheit, yeah, that'd be ouchy, but Celsius could be worse.
Can we cross anyone right now, coming up or down? They think we're freaking lunatics. It's just like 8 people shirtless walking up this freezing mountain.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, maybe we should take that advice and just stop. Nope.
Keep going. Keep going.
Just focus on
This
like
is a
one
test
step
of
at a time.
endurance
That's the only
and
thing that works for
willpower.
me right now. I think about the fucking 2 hours ahead of us. Makes me very sad.
Test of endurance and willpower. Come on.
Will not stop. Just go on.
Fourth of the way there. Starting to feel it on my back, mostly. But just trying to focus on the breathing and just follow Wim's footsteps. Keeps you distracted just thinking of your breath.
This is like slow pain, whereas the ice bath was instant shock. And so if you keep your calm, I think you can.
Yeah, I suppose
you
it's
can make
shock.
it up.
Having to breathe in that icy cold air, that must be a huge shock. Like a little, like a throat punch, or like a knife in your throat. I can imagine.
Doing a good job. Doing a good job.
I feel great. Good. My element, nature, inner nature. It's a power of the moment coming to you, and then suddenly the body is able to do so
How you
much
doing in the
more.
Speedo, my man? Freaking Speedo. He's got balls. He's very, very ballsy.
The ice bath was sharp, just like a punch, whereas this is getting colder and colder.
Mm-hmm.
And because we're climbing up a mountain as well, we're getting more tired, a little bit more altitude.
More altitude,
Ooh,
yep.
Do you feel that?
Woo, that feels good.
That's a whip straight to the chest.
This fresh snow, it's not helping the situation though.
I'm
It's the fingers,
I'm sure not.
they're like blocks.
And he just keeps on going like nothing.
So
Fucking wind!
we just got to the point when the wind is really starting to catch up and the snow hitting you hard in the face. It's so cold. Look at these trees.
Wow.
This is so crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, how are you doing there, Speedo?
Let's go, Max.
Great job, dude. Oh my god.
My goodness. The fact that there's so much unknown out there is what kind of makes me nervous.
It's very deep, Wim. It's getting too deep. We're about 1,900 meters in elevation, which is almost like it's 5,800 feet. And at this point, the snow still goes up all the way here, so it's almost impossible. Can't feel my lips anymore. Can't feel my hands. But
sure not.
The internals are still warm. Thomas is gone. Thomas just wants to fucking run down there, and I second that. Let's go.
A few hundred meters from the mountain summit, we got stuck. The snow levels were getting up to our waist, and making the call to continue the trek to the top became extremely unsafe amidst the intensifying weather conditions.
We should be sensible about this. Together with the wind chill, it is more than -20.
Wow.
And it is impossible to go up. The snow is going to be here. We did it. We bloody did it.
Hell yeah.
We bloody did it.
Continuing past this point would have put us in real danger. But in our eyes and in Wim's eyes, we did it.
Success, baby.
We fucking did it. 1, 2, 3,
It took us a silent climb down of reflection and a day of warming back up to fully understand the purpose of all the pain.
Crazy like a monkey! Crazy like a monkey.
Max, I will fuck you.
What we began to realize is that Wim's objective this entire week hadn't been to teach us his method, but instead to show us that even without it, the human mind is capable of so much more
It really
than
is.
we ever thought possible. That we were capable of so much more than we thought possible. And that no matter what challenge we're going through in our lives, we should never lose hope and underestimate our ability to shine and find the strength within us to succeed. We spent the morning after the climb doing a group reflection with Wim, and he decided to end our trip where it all began.
I wanted to make it full circle. And so now I want to end this ritualistic.
Basically, he wants us to take these torches, light them up, and walk back to that waterfall that everybody jumped off the first day.
Normally I go and do not exceed no longer than 2 minutes in ice water immersion. You guys did 5 times. You guys jumped directly from 7 meters down, even gainers I saw. Hey, what was going on here? Because you have 3 years of working together, or even more, always going into discomfort. That means you have gone out of the normal.
Is that Will
way
Smith?
of
It almost
thinking,
looked like
and that made you, for me, perfect to be my guinea pigs for new research, pioneering. Because we gotta revolutionize something in this world and show that we are made of much more than we think. And for that, we have to dive into the depth.
Yeah.
And for that, you got fear right now. Because this is normal. This is nature. This is for the guys who venture, who pioneer, who go past their fear and their controlled way of thinking. They go past and show new ways, new directions. And that was the aim of these last 4 days. You guys did bloody great. To unlock your potential, we have given ourselves fully the last 4 days to show new directions past fear. And past fear, there is a lot more coming to us. You are the new generation, you are the youth. You got to change this world. Now unlock your own power of your own mind, because it's so beautiful.
I love that. I'm gonna let the credits and these images just kind of finish out, and I'm gonna finish up with some closing thoughts. This was inspiring, most definitely, to say the least. There is not enough of people challenging their bodies to this kind of extreme and to test their endurance, to push the limits of their own physical being by being able to sort of awaken or expand or elevate, ascend, however you want to put it, being able to push their own minds so that they can push their bodies. And that is just utterly amazing, to say the least. It really is. The human brain and the human body, separately and together, are capable of doing so many amazing things in so many unbelievable ways. Kind of like this. Is this something that I could do? A part of me wants to say this is something I should try, but at the same time it's like, no, this is not something that I should be doing. It's probably not. But, like, it's okay, so Frozen Alive is the title of the general, like, movie or sequence, whatever you want to call it. Wow, that was very eye-opening. It was utterly fascinating. Science sometimes can't fully explain things like this, feats like this, where people push their bodies and their minds to the limit in such incredible extreme ways. And the one guy in the group, Thomas, he was definitely having some troubles with some of these tasks that the Iceman was asking them to do. But he still managed to make it because what was said at the end is absolutely true. Our minds are capable of doing these incredible things. And if we push ourselves in the right direction, we can be capable. I wouldn't say of everything. Humans aren't capable of flight, like, pure biological flight. We just aren't capable of that. But if we put our minds to it, we could probably, create a contraption that is capable of flying and allowing us to soar above the skies or glide or whatever the case. But if we put our minds and our bodies to the test, there is so much that we can do. Absolutely. And Iceman said it as well. Unlock your own power of your own mind. For everybody, it could be different. Some people, it might come more easily. Some people, it might come more naturally than other people. But everybody has that potential. It's just a matter of unlocking it. And there don't seem to be as many people that are willing to either unlock it or willing to go through the journey of unlocking it. I mean, I don't know if I am, because I don't know what I would have to do. If, say, I wanted to unlock my own mind and my body's own true potential, I don't know what I could do. I don't know what I would want to do. I mean, would it be something incredible to explore? Potentially. But it's just such an unknown that so many people aren't willing to explore or discover. Understandably so. General fear of the unknown and the fear of putting ourselves in danger, kind of like this, because you can succumb to hypothermia within like 2 or 3 minutes of conditions like these guys were subjected to. A lot of that's going to happen with a lot of people. But with the right training or the right mindset, or better yet, both, being able to survive that could be feasible. It's not the most pleasant thought, but it could very well be feasible, because humans are capable of amazing things. And frankly, that's the big takeaway. Whether you are trying to unlock your full potential, or whether you're just trying to get through a day of work, you are capable of amazing things. We all are. We are capable of putting our mind to the test, and we are capable of putting forth the energy to make it through that day or that extreme experience of potentially being hypothermic. Like, we can do this. We just have to put our minds to it. Our mind is our most powerful tool, and we don't utilize it nearly enough. A lot of us don't. I don't sometimes. Definitely. You are capable of so much. Don't ever let yourself be doubted. Don't. Just don't. Push out those bad thoughts. Push out the doubt. Push out the sadness, the anger, the uncertainty, the fear. Just push it all out. Because you can. You can. That's the big takeaway from this. You can. This was such a fascinating watch. Thank you so much to the patron who requested this. This was cool. And I hope that people see this and watch this and take some of my insight as well. Again, it's my insight. It's not necessarily fact. And it is opinion, and it can be ignored. Heck, my opinion and the Iceman's opinion, and the opinions of all the other people who are undergoing this, all of our opinions can be just completely ignored. But if somebody can listen to somebody's insight from either the Iceman, or from the contestants, or from me, maybe even from all of us in some way, that'll be enough. That'll definitely be enough. So thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. And as usual, until the next video, guys, check you laters.